Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights. We continue our reports on the CPRA. Once again, Gordon Dove, the chairman of that important, panel of people that we put together over the years to protect and to serve here in the area. Also, Tony Alford representing the governor, Jeff Landry. And thanks to the governor for making sure that this is really a progressive board trying to protect the coastline of Louisiana. Now, let's listen to Glenn Ledet as he gave his report, and certainly we want to try to get all of these. But tonight, it's Glenn Ledet.
Appreciate, as always, the opportunity to give y'all an implementation update of everything that we've got going on at CPRA. This was a busy month, and so excited to kind of showcase everything that we've been doing. We'll give, obviously, a brief update on some key projects that we've got going on, particularly in this area, and then talk to you about all the activities that took place over the last 30 days since our last board meeting. So the first thing, as always, we showcase this slide to showcase all the active projects that we have at CPRA. As you can see, 107 active projects. Right now, we're kind of in an upward tick of some of the peak activity that we have along our coast. And so working towards trying to get to 135 projects as demonstrated in our FY25 annual plan. But it's really a tremendous number of projects. We've got 43 in construction, 59 in engineering and design, and the additional 5 in planning. And as you can see, that's demonstrated in the master plan and in our annual plan. It takes all different types of projects to help protect and restore our coast. So you can see all those different types listed there, with obviously the majority being hurricane protection and marsh creation to restore habitat along our coast. And so exciting to showcase all the activity that's going on. As we demonstrate in the annual plan, we're continuously working to implement more and more percentage of our dollars in construction. And so this fiscal year, we have roughly 80% working towards the next 2 fiscal years, where we're trying to get up to almost 90% of the money we spend is actually implementing projects in construction. So it's really phenomenal to see this program grow. Another thing that we've been trying to showcase to the board and to the public is our construction updates. And so we've got a number of those today just to feature some of these projects. A couple of projects that just got kicked off and others that we will be bidding soon. And so the first of these projects that have been recently kicked off is the North Vermilion Bay Shoreline Protection Project. This is a segmented rock breakwater system along the northern sections of Vermilion Bay. This is work that we're funding through surplus as well as GOMESA. We provided funding to Vermilion Parish through an intergovernmental agreement at almost $9.2 million, and they've initiated that project. In addition to that, we've got a hurricane protection project, the Sunset Levee segment of the Upper Barataria Risk Reduction Project. This is a project that we're working with the Lafourche Basin Levee District on, and provided funds through GOMESA, and they have kicked off that project. They had a groundbreaking just about a month and a half ago on that project, and it's exciting to see that moving. That's some of the first interim work that's being done on the federal Upper Barataria Risk Reduction Project that is being led by the Corps, with CPRA as the non-federal sponsor and the local levee district, Lafourche Basin Levee District. In addition to that, we have a project in the Atchafalaya Basin that's part of our basin program. That's in Point Capee. That's a hydrologic restoration project that we've provided some funding to through an intergovernmental agreement to Point Capee Parish, and they have kicked that project off as well. We've got 2 projects that we will be bidding soon, East Delacroix Marsh Creation and Terracing. This is a QIPRA project that we hope to advertise pretty soon and then open bids within the next 6 months. And that's a project that CPRA is leading. and working with our federal sponsor, NOAA, on that project. But it's a really exciting QIPRA project that provides marsh creation and terracing in the East Delaware area. And then also we have, as you see, the St. Charles Parish Crawford Canal Sunset Pump Station being led by one of our local partners, St. Charles Parish, and we're providing funding there through an intergovernmental agreement as well. And so they will be opening bids on that project soon. Two other updates I want to tell you about. The first is the Maurepas reintroduction, river reintroduction into Maurepas Swamp. That project, as we've talked a lot about, has received a large restore grant. It's also the work-in-kind credit for the West Shore Lake Pontchartrain project, and it's also the mitigation for that project. And so an exciting announcement this afternoon at 2 p.m., we will be opening bids on the first reach of that, which is reach 6 of the Maurepas River reintroduction project. And so we'll update the board on that next month, but an exciting announcement on that project. In addition to that, you may have seen in the media the Mid-Barataria sediment diversion. We restarted construction there through a modified stop work order with Plaquemines Parish, and we'll be getting kicked off on the major early works activities that need to take place on that project as we work through with Plaquemines on the challenges on the permit. And so an exciting announcement there, getting kicked off on some major early works that need to take place on that project. And so just a lot going on the construction side, but we like to highlight some of these activities to the board every month, and we'll continue to do so. In addition to that, want to provide some exciting engineering and design updates before we get into the two projects that we featured this month. The first is the West Bell Headland repair work. And so we provided some updates during our fiscal 2025 annual plan presentations. But this is one of the first beach restoration and headland restoration projects that we're working with FEMA through a PW process, public works process, to get reimbursement for the damages after Hurricane Ida.
We'll be right back. More with Glenn Ledet. Don't go away. Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. Welcome back as we continue to showcase reports that took place at the CPRA meeting at the Civic Center in Terrebonne Parish. Let's go back on the floor. Glenn Ledet leading us on his report.
We're working through the final agreements there, as well as working with the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management on the marine minerals lease for the sand that we're going to be using for the federal offshore sand component to restore that headland. And so we'll have some key updates for the board over these next 2 months. There'll be a lot of activity there, and we're hoping to get to construction here pretty soon, but certainly within fiscal year 25. And then in addition to that, one of the large projects that you'll be hearing a lot about over the next several months is the Chandelier Islands Restoration Project. That's a large-scale restoration project in the Chandelier Islands that's funded with Deepwater Horizon dollars. We'll be giving a large update to the board next month on that, but right now the alternative design analysis is underway, and we're taking several field trips and site visits to the island to showcase that to our stakeholders and partners. That's a project, it's a partnership project that's a partnership between both CPRA and Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, as well as on the federal side with U.S. Fish and Wildlife. So it's really a multi-agency and state and federal project. So it's an exciting project, and we look forward to updating the board in more detail on that project next month. With that, we wanted to highlight two key projects that we have underway at CPRA that are in construction and completing construction. And so the first one is right here in Terrebonne Parish. It's the H&C Bird Island Restoration Project. This is really an exciting project that we're kicking off now. As you can see over the history here, that showcase between 1998 and present. That island has suffered a lot of damage. It underwent some work, but we're trying to restore it to its original size and nature. And so we've got some good activity going on there. As you can see, that island continues to subside. And so the birds that are using that for habitat will eventually lose that island if nothing is done, as well as the protection and resiliency that it provides to Terrebonne Parish is critical. And so with that, this is one of the key bird island projects that were funded out of the NERDA, the Natural Resources Damage Assessment dollars coming from the Deepwater Horizon settlement. This is our third bird island project that we are building with a partnership with Wildlife and Fisheries. The first was the Queen Bess Island, second being Rabbit Island. This is the third. Both of those projects have been completed and have been widely successful, and so we're excited about the potential here. And so just want to give you a snapshot of some of the summary features and layout of this project. The first is we're going to be building over 35 acres of a variety of habitats, as you can see in that snapshot here on the screen, with a little over 225,000 cubic yards of material from an offshore state borrow area. And so you can see there we're building all different types of projects, anywhere from marsh protection components to marsh nourishment. We've got additional marsh and shrub habitats, as well as ground nesting habitats for birds in this area. We also have the protection components to try to maintain this island for suitable habitat for a long time. We've got the refurbishment of those existing perimeter rock dikes, as well as the proposed new rock dikes to complete the island. And so really exciting. You've got a number of other breakwater projects that we've got in there as well. This project could not happen without partners in industry. And so we've got local companies working on this project. We have All South Consulting Engineers on the design as well as the construction administration side. And then we have Weeks through their Covington office that's doing the construction work. So it's exciting to see all of the local industry that supports us on these projects. In addition to that, we have the Bayou Terrebuff Ridge Restoration Project, the third phase of this project, and this is in St. Bernard Parish. This is another critical project, but it was funded through a variety of sources, both state dollars, both through NIFWIF as well as Restore, those two components from the Deepwater Horizon spill at a little over $6.5 million. But this project contained a rock revetment as well as some plantings. And so I'll go through and kind of showcase that. As you can see here, we planted over 10,000 trees on this project, including bald cypress, red maple, and sugarberry saplings, and restored over up to 68 acres of ridge restoration. We also put 17,800 tons of armor stone to complete a shoreline stabilization for the rock revetment component of this project to provide resiliency to the Bayou Terrebuff Ridge. And so it's really a critical project. We've got all of these 10,000 trees were just planted here over the last month, and the rock work was completed earlier this year. And so this is a video that you can see that our office took here. And I'll let it play to showcase the area that we're protecting there. And then you can see all of those saplings that were planted, those white protections for the trees. And then this is the shoreline protection components. But as we do on a variety of other projects, it's trying to protect that habitat that you see there from eroding, and then protecting that area, that community, from further erosion. So these projects are critical, and we'll continue to do those and update the board every month. As you can see those 10,000 plantings there. It's kind of hard to see the white stakes.
More with Glenn Ledet. Don't go away. Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. All right, we'll now finish up with Glenn Ledet at the Civic Center in Terrebonne Parish on his report to the CPRA.
Couldn't do it without both our local partners at St. Bernard Parish as well as industry. Additionally, we've got a lot of locals involved in this project. Rigid Constructors built the rock revetment feature. Royal Engineers performed the engineering and design, and ELOS is performing the environmental monitoring work all locally. So exciting to see industry partner with us to do these projects. And then, as I mentioned in the intro of the presentation, we had a lot of key meetings and other activities that took place over this last month, and so wanted to highlight that to the board. The first being our Shores fly-in to Washington, D.C. And so, as the board remembers, as we update, this is the Sharing Offshore Revenues from Energy Sources Coalition. Neil McMillan is going to give really all of the details on this later in his presentation. But just want to highlight, this was our biggest fly-in that we've ever had. We had 83 members in attendance. We had over 105 meetings that took place with 31 states and 2 territories. Another meeting that just took place tied to energy and energy revenue sharing was the Western Caucus Foundation. Myself, President Matthew Jewell in St. Charles Parish, as well as Neil McMillan and CPRA, took the Western Caucus Foundation on a tour of Davis Pond, and then gave a presentation on what we do here in our coastal program and why energy and energy revenue sharing is important to us and why it's critical for the nation. The other important meeting that we had this past month was a tour by the United States Army Corps of Engineers of the Old River Control Structure up in Morganza. And so we were able to engage in that with Governor Landry and provide him with a critical tour of all the work that goes on there. The Corps of Engineers provided an overview of the Old River Control Structure. We visited that, the low sill structure, the Morganza spillway, as well as the hydraulic dam there, and then also provided an update on the initiation of that Lower Mississippi River comprehensive study that the Corps is initiating now. And so that's that critical five-year, $25 million study that the Corps is leading to evaluate all of the Lower Mississippi River operation. And so the other event that we got to participate in is the new Natural Resources Steering Commission. We had the first meeting that took place. Chairman Dove is also the chairman of this committee. Various members from CPRA, including myself, engaged in the implementation working group. Our CFO, Janice Lansing, engaged in the finance and management work group, and board member Dustin Davidson and Chief of Staff Dustin Davidson also engaged in the boards and commissions work group, and we got to provide good feedback to the commission as we initiate this this new task force. And so there'll be additional meetings there, but just wanted to highlight the activity there. And in addition to that, just last month, we had the quarterly Governor's Advisory Commission meeting. Myself and other members of CPRA got to provide updates to Chairman Alfred and the commission on the activities that have been going on since the beginning of the year, and good dialogue about various activities along the coast. And just wanted to continue to highlight a lot of the good activities that we have on grants and other programs that we run at the at CPRA. The one that you may have seen yesterday or earlier this week is the Restore Act Center of Excellence. And this is the third round of grants for Louisiana awards. Nearly $4 million were awarded in funding coastal research. And this is a partnership between CPRA and the Water Institute of the Gulf that we manage. You can see there were 12 awards there. You've got activity across the coast on a variety of universities, including work that's being done at Nicholls on Flotone Marsh. And so a lot of good work there that all goes into one, providing updates to CPRA that we can utilize in master planning efforts as well as implementation. And so as we continue to make those awards, we'll continue to update the board, but really great work that's going on across our coast on a variety of universities. Then another great update is the progress on the Coastal Center at Nicholls. And as you can see on these photos, the building is flying up. We've got good activity that's taking place. We are also working with the Office of Facility Planning on the build out of the CPRA and the Governor's Office of Coastal Activities floor. And so we're designing that with the architects and trying to get that out to bid as well. But the work that's ongoing now is going well and should be finished by the end of the year. As you can see there, we have our partners at Nicholls as well as industry. Ratcliffe Companies is constructing the building, and DDG is doing the architecture work for the state of Louisiana. So again, really good to see local companies doing the work that is critical to our coast. And then finally, we've had quite a number of foreign delegation visits that have visited our LSU Center for Rivers Studies. And so just want to highlight this. This is that partnership that we have with LSU. Both myself and other members of CPRA have worked with Dr. Clint Wilson, who's the new dean of the LSU School of Coast and the Environment, on giving all of these delegations visits of that really awesome facility that we have next door to our building at Baton Rouge. And so we've had members of the delegation from Vietnam. We worked with the Corps of Engineers and took them on a tour of Davis Pond, as well as I was able to tour them with Dr. Wilson at the Center for River Studies. And so just exciting to see everybody really coming and engaging and seeing the importance of the work we do, but also taking those lessons learned back to the delegations they come from.
Keep watching Facebook, YouTube, and HTV. We have all the reports in your area. You can find out exactly what took place. Thanks for joining us.
Structural heart disease refers to a defect in the heart's valves, walls, or chambers that keeps the heart from pumping blood properly. Valve or structural heart problems may be present at birth or develop over time. Your risk increases if you have high blood pressure, plaque buildup, history of heart attack, take certain medications, or have certain heart infections. The Structural Heart Program at CIS and Terrebonne General provides innovative solutions and devices with the latest technology to bring the best possible outcomes for patients. Learn more at cardio.com.